Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Hope everybody's had a great week. Hope everybody's been in work, wound up them rags, gone to your relative's house, wound up the rags, dropped a text message to your mate who's a rag and wound them up. Because the amount of nonsense they were spouting last week to me, what they were going to do to City and all this nonsense, and then all of a sudden it's quiet. I don't know about you guys, but I've not seen any of them. Not had a DM. Not had one of them United messages. Not had a Manchester is red. None of that. It's all gone. Quiet. You know what I mean? I think they're finally realising that the energy is better spent elsewhere, not on Big Steve and the Man City fans who are currently living life in the shadow. Do you know what I mean? It's quite good here. You know, we take the piss on Derby Day. Old Trafford is falling down. You know, the songs, even Newcastle are copying our songs now. So, yeah, it's been a good week to be a Blue. Fantastic week. The bragging rights are ours for a few more months. But the game weekend, Bournemouth, if we slip up at home to Bournemouth or we don't get the 3 points at Bournemouth, the Derby Day victory is irrelevant, to be honest. You know, it's all right going to Old Trafford and beating them, but we've got to make sure we get the points at home to Bournemouth. You know what I mean? We've got to make sure we get back on the horse and keep marching forward after that little blip with Wolves and so on, where we lost points. Yeah, you know, Arsenal and that. We need to make sure we're there or thereabouts. Had a week off this week, trying to get right. I've had a bit of a kidney infection and I've been carrying it for about a week. And being stupid that I am, didn't go to the hospital. And then I ended up in Monday. I had to go to the hospital. They've given me antibiotics. I'm about 5 days in now. Still there, still sore, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going the right way. But yeah, learn my lesson. Don't think you can survive on painkillers. If there's something wrong, get to the quacks. So I've had a week off. I've been bored off my tits. I can't lie down and watch TV and sit around and watch TV. I've ended up making like fucking curries and stews and that nobody eats in the slow cooker because I'm bored. You know what I mean? So it's been one of them crazy weeks. Just let me get rid of all this junk that keeps popping up on my screen. Sorry about this. But yeah, I thought I'd do a Bournemouth preview. I know it's not as exciting as a Manchester Derby preview and all that, but we've got to get it done. Don't know if anyone's seen our Derby Day preview, me and Saeed on the Manc Talk, where we had a walk around Old Trafford and sat in the cafe and that. It's gone down really well. Manc Talk is available on the Big Six channel. So if you type in Big Six channel, Manc Talk, the episode, me and Saeed, City and United fan every week, talking about both clubs. This week's was quite funny, as you can imagine. Saeed's in the mud. He's lost to City and Newcastle. So I was on there yesterday giving him a bit of shit. So if you want a bit of a laugh after this, go on the Manc Talk and let me know what you think. But Bournemouth tomorrow, looking forward to getting back to the Etihad Stadium. Looking forward to getting a home game in. 3 o'clock kickoff. Hopefully the weather's going to be nice. Not a lot to report on. Injury-wise, I think we're okay. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is the one who's missing. Suspension-wise, I think Akanji is available. So I'm told. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe you can confirm. Are we expecting Pep to change the team after the derby? Probably. You know, will he play Jeremy Doku at home? It worked against Brighton. Will he do that against Bournemouth? We don't know. Will Akanji come back in and start? Will Nathan Ake come in and start? Rico Lewis, will he get a start at home? We've got young boys on Tuesday night. So he's got a few things to think about, Pep. You know, he's got a few things to think about. He don't want to upset the rhythm of the team. Just as we come back off a big win against Man United, we don't want to make a load of changes and then stop-start at home against Bournemouth. We don't want to do that. I've just been listening to Sky Sports and the guy there, he was thinking maybe Haaland will get a rest. But I don't think if you're scoring goals, you don't want to be getting a rest. You want to keep playing, you know what I mean? He's on fire at the minute. He's doing really, really well. So for me, I'd keep Haaland up front. We need him to be firing. Plus, I've triple captained him on my fantasy football team this week. So Pep, if you're watching, don't drop him. Do not drop Big Earl. He's on the triple captain for me this week. So come on, calm down. I do think Grealish has had a couple of cracking games, but I have got a feeling in my head maybe Jeremy might get a start at home. I don't know what you guys think. Bournemouth, they're a bit hit and miss. I watched a bit of the game against Liverpool the other night. They were okay. The Spanish manager, he's trying to do his thing there. But I don't know. I just feel for Bournemouth. I think there's 3 worse teams in the Premier League than Bournemouth. So I think they're probably going to stay up, get lucky. But we just got to show them no mercy. We've got to show them no mercy, get back in our groove, put them to the sword. We can't have the last 10 minutes like we did against Brighton where you're thinking, how are Brighton still in this game after we dominated so much? So we need to dominate the game. We need to put them to bed. You know what I mean? We need to make sure we deal with them. The Grealish Doku debate has come back up again this week on a few channels. A couple of weeks ago, obviously because Jeremy started so well, everyone was going on about Doku. Grealish has come back the last 2 games. And like I've said before, there's no point in us arguing about it. They're both on the same team. It gives us 2 fantastic options. What I have decided in my own mind is that I prefer Phil Foden on the right. I was a big man for getting Phil in the middle. We've seen him in the middle. I just think in the middle of the park, he's not as good as he is on that right. I think that right-hand side, Foden, is brilliant. And I think that's the balance now. I think Kyle Walker needs to realise he's got Phil Foden in front of him. As soon as Kyle gets up that pitch, give the ball to Phil. You don't have to go bombing, overlapping Kyle. You never cross the ball anyway. You always pull it back. So no point. Do what we did at Old Trafford. Get the ball down. Give it to Phil. That's for me on that right-hand side is sorted. The left-hand side, you can play about with it. The Jack Grealish and Bernardo Silva link-up was brilliant. I thought the overlapping runs from Bernardo was class. And I think that left-hand side is strong. I also think Guardiola at left-back is a big move. I think he's playing really, really well. I think what Pep's done with him, playing him at left-back as well, not throwing him in at centre-back, is brilliant. I think Imanake can take turns down that left-hand side quite comfortably, either or. We've got a good left-back options now, whereas for years we never did. I think that's a good move. John Stones coming back into the team, massive. You know, coming into midfield, adding that extra body in there, works. We know that. And we look a different team. We do look a different team. When we get everybody fit, we look a different team. Don't forget Kevin De Bruyne is back soon, maybe 3-4 weeks. He'll be coming back in. And that'd be like having a new signing. That's like getting to Christmas and someone giving you a £100 million player. Do you know what I mean? To realise how well we're doing without him, but to see what Kevin De Bruyne adds to the squad and adds to the team is just, that could be the final push, the boost we need in the last quarter to get us going. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping anyway. Got to have a big shout out to Edison. Edison sometimes gets criticised for me. But when you look at Edison's overall game and his performances for Manchester City, he's outstanding. You know what I mean? People were saying to me a few years ago, you'll never win the Champions League with Edison. Well, he shoved that right up your ass and he proved it. Because in that Champions League final, it was immense. But these games now this season, I'm seeing Edison in big moments saving our ass. You know, United had a couple of little shots there, could have gotten back in the game. Edison was on it. His kicking is on point. His distribution is on point. And I think he's very, very underrated. And I think he was very unlucky not to win that Yashin award the other night at the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion, you know, for what he did. But, you know, we all know now that if you win the World Cup, you win the award. Our Erling Haaland never won that. I'll never know. Yeah, Messi's won the World Cup. So what? Domestically, he was poor. He was poor. Erling Haaland came with a bit, you know, with a big reputation. Apparently, he was coming from a farmers' league. He squashed the Premier League into a ball, fucking patted it away like it was nothing. He won the treble. And if any young kid out there, now you're going to have to realise that you ain't going to win that Ballon d'Or unless you do something ridiculous, because I'm guaranteeing you this now, whoever wins the Ballon d'Or next year will not have had a better season than Erling Haaland. That is facts. Sentiment creeped into it. But listen, I'm proud to watch these awards and see Manchester City players in it. There was times where these awards was nowhere near it. You know what I mean? If you think about it, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, talking about Manchester City player being nominated for a Ballon d'Or, you just fall off your chair laughing. So it's good in that respect. We got a team of the year again, 2023 team of the year, Manchester City. Absolutely fantastic. That is a credit to everybody that works at this fantastic club. Obviously, I'm doing a little bit of work for City now and then, and I see behind the scenes of what we've got going on. And let me tell you, the people working for the club behind the scenes and everywhere around the place are top notch. It's a top notch organisation, and to see it close hand, I'm proud. I'm really proud of it. You know what I mean? The only downside is they've got me working for them. You know what I mean? But I'm replaceable. I'm just living the dream. I'm just carrying on doing what they want me to do. You know, these match days away from home, to be stood on the pitch the other day at the derby and be so close to the atmosphere and feel it as a fan, it was a bit mad, and I'm still getting over that. I love that. I love that. But anyway, people, Bournemouth at home. I'll be around the Etihad early doors. If you see me and you want to come and say hello, come and say hello. Get loads of messages. I seen you today, Steve. Didn't want to bother you. You ain't bothering me. Do you know what I mean? I'm a fan. I'm going to the match. You want to come over and talk football with me? No problem at all. You know what I mean? You want to come over and tell me how shit United are? No problem. You want to come and talk about the bogs at Old Trafford? Jim Radcliffe, breaking news, 225 million investment in the infrastructure. You know what that means? The toilets are getting fixed. The roof's getting fixed. I tell you, it's all going on over there. What a time to be alive at Man United. Infrastructure payments are coming out of the door. Infrastructure, not players, infrastructure. So you get new cladding on the side of Old Trafford. You're going to get new skirting boards in the media lounge. You're going to get extra plug sockets around the pitch so no one's fighting for one socket. I tell you what, you guys over there, I'm gutted, man. I'm absolutely gutted. You know what I mean? I'm gutted. Saeed will be doing a stream about B&Q and Wicks and where you can get the cheapest stuff. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do over there. Money's tight. You know, which builders merchants can provide the guttering cheaper? You know what I mean? Price comparisons, Selco. You know, Saeed's doing all that. He needs to. He needs to save the club a few quid. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. But listen, Blues, it's only a quick preview. There's not a lot to talk about. I've seen we've been linked with Joshua Kimmich again in the paper. Kimmich is a fantastic player. Do I think he'd fit in at Man City? 1,000,000%. He's a winner. Do you know what I mean? Pep loves him. I just can't see it. I think there's a little bit of legs in this Musiala, though. I do think if City can get him out of Bayern Munich, we've got ourselves a great player. I think we missed out big time on Jude. Jude Bellingham's just hit the ground running at Real Madrid. I've never seen anything like it. So, yeah, a little bit disappointed to miss out on Jude. But we're doing okay. You know, we're doing all right. Squad's ticking along nice. Match prediction for the Bournemouth game. I'm going to go for Manchester City 4, Bournemouth 0. I just think we're going to have too much for them. I think we're going to be on a high after the derby. I think we're going to get to the Etihad. We need to get all the fans behind us again. South Stand, let's get up and going and moving. Let's get behind them. We've got to get behind them for games like Bournemouth. We did it last season. And I think, I think it's a comfortable home win. No disrespect to Bournemouth. I just feel like someone's due a little bit of a slapping. And I've got a feeling it might be Bournemouth. So listen, people, enjoy the game. Enjoy the weekend. We've got young boys coming up in the Champions League next week under the lights. It's going to be a nice week to be a Manchester City supporter if we can get a couple of wins. And then on to Chelsea next weekend. Big game. Chelsea, you know, hit and miss. Pressure's on us to go there and get results. So I'm looking forward to that too. Please leave your match predictions in the comments. If you're not subscribed to my channel, why not? If you're not subscribed to my TikTok, @BigSteveMCFC, why not? And Instagram, you know it's where it is. You know where to do the lives and all that, @BigSteveMCFC on Instagram. And everybody have a great weekend. Manchester is blue. See you all at the Etihad tomorrow. Come on, City.